The House will come to order. Prayer by the chaplain.
We pause for a few moments at the start of this session to reflect on your common purpose here today. It is well to be mindful that we live in a secular democracy by design, instituted by our founders to keep sectarian and religious differences at bay in order to focus on the common good among a diverse population. Our form of government springs from the recognition that we as human beings have the capacity to reason, gain new insights, and modify our perspectives within an ever-changing world. Each generation is responsible for creating the conditions wherein all can thrive. As our elected legislators, yours is often a difficult and thankless job. Residents across our state are not of one mind regarding the policies we want to see instituted. However, Minnesotans do share some very important values that can guide your deliberations. Minnesotans believe in the dignity and worth of every person. Minnesotans value the right to self-determination and bodily autonomy, a right to be accorded to all. And Minnesotans are a people of great compassion who decade after decade have accepted our responsibility to care for one another and the precious land we live on. These are widely shared values across our state. They are at the heart of our civil society and the glue to the social contract by which we live. As you undertake your deliberations and duties today, hold these values front and center, putting aside partisanship and dogmatism to embrace and model the practice of respect and grace we must have for one another, including those whose choices are different from our own. It is the only way to govern effectively to make Minnesota a state where everyone can flourish and where all can contribute to this place we have chosen to call home. May you help make it so. Thank you.
The chaplain for today is Audrey Kingstrom, humanist celebrant from Humanist MN in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing and recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. The clerk will take the roll. The clerk will close the roll. A quorum is present. The clerk will read the journal of the preceding day.
Journal of the House 94th Session, 2025, 32nd Legislative Day, St. Paul, Minnesota, Wednesday, May 7th, 2025.
If there is no objection, further reading of the journal will be dispensed with, and the journal will be approved as corrected by the chief clerk. Hearing no objection, the journal is approved as corrected by the chief clerk. Reports of standing committees and divisions. A copy of this order of business is at your desk and online. If there is no objection, the reports will be adopted.
Mr. Speaker.
I recognize the member from Olmsted, Representative Liebling.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would request a separate vote on the committee report on House File 2435.
Representative Liebling has requested that the House vote on the committee report, House File 2435, separately. So we will act on all other committee reports first, and then we will act on the report of House File 2435 later. So if there is no objection, then the reports, with the exception of House File 2435, will be adopted. Hearing no objection, the reports are adopted. We will now act on House File 2435. Is there any discussion? I recognize the member from Olmsted, Representative Liebling.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. So I rise in this rather unusual procedure. Maybe some of you haven't even seen this before. We usually pass these reports kind of without even thinking about it. The report that I'm rising to speak to today is the report that contains the Health Committee bill, and I believe it now contains children and families as well. But the part that I'm concerned about and want to speak to is the Health Committee bill. And the reason is that a very unusual thing happened with regard to this bill as it left committee. As many of you know, I've been here now a long time. I'm in my 11th term, so over 20 years, and I have never seen a budget bill leave a committee without the committee having an opportunity to amend the bill and actually vote it out. And that is what happened on this health bill. So think about that for a second. Because I guess because people thought there wasn't time to do it the right way, yesterday the Health Committee had an informational-only hearing on the bill that is being moved today to the General Register. An information-only hearing. In other words, the chairs negotiated a bill behind closed doors, as happens. They revealed the bill in committee in a way that the committee members had no opportunity to amend the bill or to even give it an up or down vote, as it was intended to leave committee. So the bill that is being moved today is a bill that the Health Committee members have not approved. It went to a vehicle. The amendment was put on a vehicle in Ways and Means, and then Ways and Means voted that bill out of committee. So members, this is, to my knowledge, the only bill that this has happened to, not only the only bill that's happened to this year, but the only bill that I can recall this ever happening to. And so I really wanted to bring this to your attention, because what is the meaning of this procedure? It means that committee members who presumably have the expertise in that subject area, who sat in the committee all session long, who heard the testimony on the bills as they were, most of them laid over, so never voted on by the committee. Those committee members had zero input. Maybe some of them talked to the chairs, I don't know, but zero formal input, zero opportunity to register their approval or disapproval or to have an impact on the language of these bills as they went through. So this is such an unacceptable procedure that is why I am rising today to comment upon it. Now, I know that the excuse is, oh, well, there wasn't time, but I do want to just say again, this is the only bill there have been some pretty big bills that have come, that have gone through committees this year and have even been voted off the floor, like the Human Services bill. Big contentious bill, but they, I think, went through the ordinary procedure and let the members of the committee mark up the bill. That did not happen in health. So, members, I am not making a motion today. I'm not going to ask you to vote. I know this is just going to move along, but I could not let that happen without commenting, because I sincerely hope, many of you are going to be here far longer than I will be, and I sincerely hope that this never, ever happens again, because you know what? If we're going to do this procedure, there's very little reason to even have committees, quite frankly. So thank you very much for the time, Mr. Speaker.
All right. All those in favor of accepting the committee report, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion prevails. The committee report is adopted. Second reading of House files.
Second reading, House File number 2435.
Second reading. Introduction of bills. The following House file has been offered for introduction today. The Chief Clerk will report the one House file and give it its first reading.
Introduction of first reading of House File number 3309.
First reading, House File 3309.
There you go. What do I know?
Second reading.
Second reading, House File number 3228.
Second reading. I recognize the member from Anoka, Representative Niska.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Rules Committee will meet immediately following recess in G3, and the Republicans will caucus immediately following rules in our caucus room.
I recognize the member from Hennepin, Representative Long.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Democrats, we also will be caucusing following rules in our caucus room.
Recognize the member from Anoka, Representative Niska.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move a recess to the call of the Speaker.
Representative Niska moves a recess to the call of the Speaker. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. The motion prevails. The House stands in recess.